Hello, hi guys. I know I've been MIA. You're welcome. You're coming. Crucify me. Come, give it to me. I know I disappointed you guys, but I am here. I'm here. I'm here. Um, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. What's up? What's happening? Happy last Sunday. We are on winter snow watch across everywhere. You guys, I gotta pull my chair up right here. But hopefully you guys are safe out there. You're doing well. I did not put the microphone today because it kept streaming. I kept acting funny, but I don't know if I should. Hmm, should I? Because they kept messing with my stuff here. They will come here and mess with it. But very soon, I'll have my own separate place from them. I'll do a whole mural. Everything's gonna be nice. I can't wait. I'm excited. You guys, there's so much in store this year, but I don't want to waste time. I apologize for yesterday. I could not make it on, you guys. I could not make it on to save my life. Y'all, I was like a zombie. 3 days. Let me tell you, 3 days in a row. I only had 1 hour of sleep. 1 hour. And yesterday they kept me over there because essential worker. We had to make sure people came in before I could come home. I mean, it was just a mess. When I made it home, I was hoping I was like, you know what, I can still go and have the show. But then when I got back, I was like, there's no way I can keep my eyes open. I was tired and I was like, no, let me not. I will not. You won't hear anything sound from me. So I just decided, does it make sense to come on here and just not be myself and just be a zombie, be half asleep talking to y'all? 3 days in a row, I only got 1 hour of sleep because this whole snow preparation and all this. Let me tell you a secret. I'm getting to the point where I don't want to be a healthcare leader anymore. Like, I'm really getting to that point. I'm getting to the point where and this has always been my dream. Like, I wanted to be in healthcare. I had the opportunity to make it to, senior level. And now I'm just like, I don't think I want to be in any type of leadership. It's been in my mind, been contemplating on it. I think I just want to be a worker and just go home. Like, I don't want to be responsible for anything anymore, especially when it comes to a hospital level. It's too much work. You're stuck with everything else when people don't take accountability or do anything. Like, I don't know, it's exhausting. You always got to put things on back burner, like your family has to suffer on that. So shout out to all my healthcare worker that is out there killing it. I know y'all had to sleep there. If I told you guys, recently I got into one of the most renowned hospitals in the country that I'm working for now. And I don't want to say too much because I could be held accountable. But there's some things when you're not in that space, you don't know. If you had asked me like few years ago, like where do you want to work? And I think that's everybody's dreams because every person that I've ever talked to when they hear that's where I'm at now, they're like, oh my gosh, the day I get in that space, I can't wait. I'm in that space now and I'm like, is it there? Is that the hype? Like, is this it? But anyways, let's jump into tonight's topic. I apologize, I'm super late. I know my colleagues might not make it on here tonight, but it's okay. I apologize to them. I was supposed to be here at 7, but got family stuff got to take care of. The kids said no, it's no. You guys know it's snow day, so everybody is just hype about the snow. It's a lot going on here. I slept till my entire body hurts. Like, as soon I posted that message, actually the message I was posting to you guys last night, I started doing that message since 5, but I kept dosing off and I go back to it. I would log out, go back to it. But now I'm here. I'm grateful that I have a job. I'm grateful that I'm alive. I'm grateful. But when I tell you that graveyard shift is something, it's doing something to me for sure. It's doing something to me. And I don't know. I don't know how people do it for years. I'm only doing this for probably a year and a half. I don't think I can do this for a long time. That would be too much for me. Mm-mm. It would be too much for me. So tonight I know the topic is probably a little bit confusing, but I'm here to clarify if you don't understand it. Um, it's a very controversial thing that I feel like everybody and their grandmama is talking about, but aren't talking about. Just give me a moment. So, how are you guys coping? I hope y'all were able to get water. I was a last minute person trying to look for water and I could not get water. I could not get water, you guys. I could not get water. Let's look at it. So it's called therapy speaking in conflict. So a lot of people this topic might not be understood by you guys, but it's okay. It's okay. We're gonna get to the neat and greedy of it. So I know last week when we were here, we talked about let me refresh my memories. Actually, I first need to check if we're live on Facebook because the last time nothing was showing on Facebook as I was live. So let's make sure we're live on Facebook. So I Oop, I'm using my other device. We are live. Let me put some handles up and get everybody up. Everybody. It's not highlighted, so I guess. Otherwise, put the one tag them in there. And let me pin the link in the comment section. Who's watching? Ooh, hey Charles, thank you for watching. How are you? You guys invite your friends, tell everybody to come on. Phoebe is live. I know I'm been in and out, haven't really been consistent online, but we need to discuss this. There's a burning topic that I really want to come live for tomorrow for us to talk about this whole ICE thing and things like that, things that are happening in the media and how it's affecting everyone. I think that is something to discuss. Um, like I want you guys to weigh in. I wear my big girl's pants and come up here. Um, I know we talked about it on here. I was very vocal and strong supporter of Trump. I still am in a way, but I want us to sit up here. Let's agree to disagree. Let's talk about things that led me to that decision to support and where I'm at right now with my support. Like, how does that stand? So tomorrow, I want us to go live a little bit so we talk about that because I'm not oblivious to what's happening and how it's affecting family and my own thought process of things that I feel like I can do as well. So that's something that I want us to discuss next on Monday. Tomorrow I'll be home. I don't go to work tonight. And luckily for me, my husband will be home. So I'll have some help with these kids. These kids, these kids, these children, they made me come here late. You guys, they are too much. I told you I can't go live early because they, I love them, but oh my goodness, they drive me nuts. So the link is pinned in the comment section. I'll go ahead and send it to um Riverfest Pro just in case if you want to join. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Right here. I'm just gonna do my due diligence. I'm posting the link and then we'll get into the need and greedy of this topic. If it's confusing to you, I apologize in advance. I think we're going to get to it and you will understand where this topic is coming from or where we're going with it. Okay. Listen, there's something I just saw online. Can we just have some respect for women and ourselves? And, you know, there's too much going on the internet. I try to really like do a blind eye to it and walk by it and not pay attention. We need to go back to that value system that we women have for ourselves. There's too much going on. Like, I don't even know where to pinpoint. It's a lot. It's a lot. We're swearing. It's so much. Like, just so much. Y'all need to stop. I'm just going to do a blanket statement. Stop. You guys need to hold your break. Go back to learning what it means to be a woman, how we hold society together and guide it through. If we're wondering why all these things are happening, is the way we're carrying ourselves, what we're doing. I just wanted to take a few minutes and just say, stop. You people are just doing too much on the internet. It's not only Liberian on Facebook. But why is it that's all we see? And my community is filled with different people. Probably about 60% of my followers are not Liberians. They are from other countries. And I see their content and I follow other creators as well. I do not see all these hitcheries and cursing and disrespect to children and all of that. I don't see that on their platforms. These people are using the internet as a money making machine, and it's not to tear down other people and just soar. Like, you cannot click on Facebook and scrolling through if your volume is not on. You scroll through, and the next thing you hear is a big curse words. Like, come on. I don't even think in the Liberian community, and maybe correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think I've seen men just disrespect and disregard each other on the internet like the women do. We need to stop. Like, it gotta stop. You people need to stop, get your life together, figure it out. If you have some trauma that you need to, write a damn book or create a place to discuss that. Very soon, as I get time and create a space and where I can really do things, I'm hoping I can have like a section that said a safe space where we can discuss and talk about as women, discuss trauma and things that affect us. But we really got to stop. This is not right. Just cussing, and there's no respect for women at all or children, no regards as children is around. We got to put a stop to it. I wanted to talk about this because it's really bothering me and it's just uncomfortable. And I know that's what a lot of people like. They give it the audience, and that's over there. But as a Christian, I'm going to use it. As a Christian, how do you feel sitting there watching these things and people are just misbehaving? I'm guilty. I had to check myself the past few days and say, why am I clicking on this? This is even promoting it. So I want to remind you guys, let's go back to when adults having conversation, children didn't hear it. The internet, you can have adult conversation without children hearing it, which means control and filter your words. To me, people who use a lot of swearing words, I mean, you have zero vocabulary in your mouth and you're looking for ways to speak down. So please, we can disagree to agree on things, but like having constructive conversation and criticize each other without being demeaning or using swear words. Please, it's 2026. We haven't even crossed over January. This gotta stop. It's just annoying me because now I'm on this space, and as I'm planning on different things to do in my life and to impact other people, we're here to help each other to grow and become better in society. We need to stop. Everybody just need to hold the break, pump your break. When you're angry, don't click on the blue app. When you're angry, calm down. Same way before you spank your kids or discipline them, pump your break. Take a break and say, hey, you know what? Let's separate. Go to your room. Let me stay here. Think about it before I deal with you. So that way you don't end up abusing that person or yourself. Okay, that's my piece. Now, let's go to the topic. I ask you guys, please share the show, invite your friends. Let's get this conversation started. My gosh, that was a lot, right? So tonight we're talking about something a lot of couples are, dealing with, therapy speaking, right? Like things that help you calm down when you're talking to your partner, like you're angry, words like gaslighting, trauma, dumping, boundaries, and triggers, right? Language that wasn't meant to heal. We're using that for therapy healing. You see this a lot on the internet. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody says, well, I feel like this conversation, blah, 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 you're gaslighting me. But in some relationship, it's starting to harm people. Because when somebody's trying to express themselves, you automatically say, stop gaslighting me. And it's like, come on, I'm trying to express myself. Or they, uh, people will start using the word, this is a trauma. This is creating trauma for me. I hope this makes sense to you guys, what I'm talking about. Um, so tonight, I want us to really look into these words that we're using. Are we, is the question, sorry. So the question tonight is, are these terms that I just stated, gaslighting, trauma, dumping, boundaries, triggers, are these terms helping us communicate better? Or are we using them to shut each other down and avoid accountability? So when people, what I've noticed recently, when people are in like heated conversation, they're angry, they started to use the words gaslighting. You guys hold on one second. Um, Sorry, my son just came outside to cause another problem. I had to send him back. You guys, we're gonna try to hurry up with this segment. So let's be clear, therapy language isn't the enemy. Using gaslighting, trauma, boundaries, etc. All of those things, you're triggering me. This is a trigger for me. This is a trauma for me. I don't want to listen to this. All of these are words that I believe, in my opinion, the problem is not the word how that we're using, right? The problem is when self-awareness turns into self-protection and healing language becomes a shield. So when you're in therapy, I don't know if you guys have been to therapy. I have never been in therapy, but I have something similar to a therapy where I have somebody that I confide in and talk to them. I probably should be in therapy. I think if you guys, after my book get published and out there, after you read it, you might tell me, Felicia, you need therapy. But I will tell you, I don't think I need therapy because writing a book has really been therapeutic for me. Hence, I started this book about 10 years ago. And here, Peter saying, welcome.
Thank you.
Mhm. So, as I was saying, some people might want to go to therapy and things like that. And like I said, the book that I'm about to publish sometimes this year, I'm still figuring out which month to put out there. But I think after a few people read that book, they're going to say, I think you need therapy, Felicia. But I don't. I feel like I said, writing it have been therapeutic. And that's why I said earlier on here, this is totally off our topic, that most of the people that every content that I'm coming across on Facebook, it's just outright wrong. And people are just cussing and carrying on each other. And our community is just kind of like I feel like people just think Liberians are just cussing people now, because everybody that I know when it come across, and unfortunately, our content don't get to be seen because the majority of the crowd don't really care about what we have to say, and they're just drawn to negative. But again, this topic is about, you know when therapy speaking helps, when people are in argument, recently I spoke to a few friends, and as they were telling me their story, well, not friends, I would say colleagues at work. So again, we engage in these conversations during lunch break and things like that. And as they're sharing things that are happening to them in their lives, and they're explaining it, all I'm hearing is trauma, gaslighting. This person's gaslighting me. This person's triggering me, and it's just make you think about, okay, these words are meant for, they're using therapy, and now instead of people just taking it as in therapy, they're like, when you're in an argument with them, there's something, they're using them more like a therapy, conflicting words, like to stop someone from expressing themselves. So once you say something that might sound almost like gaslighting, they automatically shut down the conversation by saying, don't gaslight me. And now that person feel like, well, I don't want to be looked at someone as someone that always gaslighting you. So how do I communicate? So that's what this topic is kind of about. Um, Welcome.
Thank you.
Were you able to look at the topic? I don't know if it makes sense.
No,
So
I look at it when I listened to you when you were like speaking. I said, let me join her. I thought the guys were around here, but I'm not seeing anybody. I said, no, she alone
um,
can't be talking like this.
I don't think they're gonna come in because it's so late. I was trying to settle my kids' drama over here. They got too much going on with this snow thing. Everybody don't want to go to bed. They want to stay in the snow and play.
My
Like
God.
there's just a lot going on here today.
Yeah. So yes. So thank you so much, and thank you guys. You guys been on a few days. Um. Yeah, we've been managing it to move along. So thank you. That's why we have not been on. So
Yeah.
happy birthday to the co-host. I don't know why he's not here today to celebrate that birthday.
I'm telling you, oh yes,
So,
I didn't even start that. Oh, he's
so
gonna kill me.
he has to come. Happy birthday. And so he can leave in that corner. You gotta come here and show your face. Uh,
Birthday boy, you need to come out and say hi to the people. I totally forgot. I got two. It's two of them that birthdays in January.
oh,
The
really?
other one I totally forgot. Like then, I haven't really been active on Facebook. Sometimes Facebook help me out, remind me of my old messages. So when I logged on, I said, "Oh my God, I am in some deep trouble."
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. This it's always it's happy to get to meet your old age. I mean, let's say meet your age,
His
and
OH.
that meet your age and new age. I don't want to say old age. It's always to see a new age. So
He coming in for you soon.
there you go. There you go. Great, yeah. I want
No,
to.
for me, my birthday coming, but this year I'm not too hype about my birthday. I don't know why. I don't know.
Because
This year,
you got a lot of birthday to celebrate for yours. Just so you know what.
yeah,
They-
this year I'm grateful. I pray that God help me see that day. But usually my birthday 2 weeks or as soon as we get in January, I start hyping everybody up about my birthday. I think because I have so much that I'm working on this year to do. So
That's
I
what.
got so distracted. My husband is the one keep reminding me, oh, this is a milestone birthday that's coming up. I said,
Yes, very because for me, my own birthday. I many times forget about my own birthday. My son has to tell me, say, "Daddy, your birthday." I say, "Oh, really?" So if he is there reminding you, he's very very attentive.
yeah, this one, he remembered. He said, this is a milestone birthday. I said, really? I had to go back and look at the calendar. Sometimes I forget my date of birth when I'm trying to put it on the form. I'm like, how old am I again? He's like, seriously, you don't know your age? but but yeah. So
So yes, yeah,
mhm.
the topics is
So the topic basically said therapy speaking in conflict. So when you're angry with your partner or friends like that, right?
I
Some
understand,
healing language or emotional weapons that people use
right?
to like trigger their partner or their or their friends, colleague, whoever you're in a argument with. And most likely, like now, The trending words that everybody's using is, gaslighting, trauma dumping, or like they will say, my boundaries, you're crossing my boundaries. And this created triggers for me. And I just feel like it's the way in which they're using these words are really confusing people. And I've heard from few people that say, well, I don't feel like I can have a conversation, or when we're arguing, I feel like I can't really sit there to express myself for this person to take accountability of their action. Instead, when you say something, it sounds more like let's just say you and I got into a disagreement, right? And you're trying to express yourself to me for me to understand that I did something wrong and take accountability for my action. Instead, I rebuttal and tell you that, well, what you're telling me is causing me trauma. I think you're gaslighting me, instead of me sitting there, and then you now feel like, okay, well, these are not good things that you're feeling. So maybe we should stop this conversation. And then they never ever go back to really, you know, discuss the issue. So that's where we're talking about tonight. Like, if that makes sense.
Yeah, okay. So I understand when you start talking about these things,
Yeah.
but I want to take it from this context.
Gotcha.
These I'll say slams or a, a words that comes out of somebody whenever he faces something, they are attached to emotion. They're emotionally driven. And whenever somebody gets emotionally driven, they speak directly from their professional background, or they are much more involvement into any professional life. Sometimes when emotion is being observed in a lot of ways. Maybe excitement. When you are excited, there are words in your own confines of study, confines of a professional life. There are words that are around that would definitely describe or put you in the mood of that motion, or in the mood of that kind of your emotion. So similarly, people like in the therapist area, they have some words that directly describe either when you are in action, when you feel bad, when you feel good. There are words that describe that kind of a scene. So definitely, when that person is in conflict with me, or is in any other discussion with me, when they lack of certain word, they fall on the word that exactly describe the kind of state they are. So let's say you gaslighting me. Your activity is gaslighting me. So it's definitely they are just cutting it short. You get me vexed. You making me to do this. You get me to. So they speak in that way to provide our freedom, to provide our ease. So if you are an educated person, if somebody say, look, your attitude is gaslighting me. You understand that you pushing that person to the extent that he or she might do something that you will not like. So when those words come out of somebody, it depends the context it come, it explains itself. No one can interpret that to you. You understand exactly what that means. Similarly, I um I if you in an emotional state, for example, you're from a professional background, maybe you are a nurse or you are a financial person, um, and then you just come up with a statement and say, look, you know what, your activity, for example, maybe you're speaking to your loved ones, or you're speaking to your colleagues. So look, mommy, your activities needs some auditing. So if you said, look, your activity needs some auditing, it does not exactly mean that you have the money with you and you're misusing it. So I need to, check the money and what have you. It definitely telling you that what you are doing, it needs some check up. You get that? So it's not only in different sides. So every professional terrain has their own way of responding to these things. So it's a very good one. Our old people, that's why they come up with parables. You see,
Right.
when you have the other person is speaking, is settling matter, they don't directly go to the issue and say you're wrong, you're right. They come up. I know of one old man. I know he's late now. One old man, when I used to be working in the county, when you meet the old man to talk to him, you have gone with different things. He will take a parable. When he speaks that parable to you, you understand exactly what you're supposed to do if you were going to have encounter with another people in our other community. So
Right.
these things they come in that way. So that's the same thing. Our people use parable, use the way of speaking to be able to nurture the words, the wordings to be very sweet and understandable. That's why people speak, kind of minor, the slims and those kind of jargons that come. They are meant to cement that kind of a relationship. They are meant to put your partner to focus, to understand how you feel, what you feeling, how you understand, and those things. So they are good for me. They are very good, and they help to ease some burden that people carry.
Hmm. That's a good way to look at it. I agree with you, but I was just thinking, I'm like, so you're saying the terms like gaslighting, birdings, like boundary triggers are being used to clarify like their feelings.
Right.
Okay.
These words are
And you
used.
don't think it's to avoid ownership of their mistakes sometimes?
No, no, you crossing my boundary. If somebody tells you you're crossing my boundary, there are two things.
Hmm.
The person is pushing on a certain understanding. Whether look, one thing saying that and other you are right to say that is two different things. Two
Okay.
different things.
Okay.
So I might be knowingly wrong, but I'm furious. I've grew in anger, and then look, see, I'm your activity is gaslighting me.
Got you.
You are crossing my boundary. Does that mean I'm right? No, it
No.
does not mean I'm right. It means I'm communicating how I feel about the situation. Even if you are totally right and I'm wrong, it still means that I'm being like explaining to you in my action, in my terminologies, everything about me. I'm clearly telling you, say, look, I'm not with you in this. I'm not responsible, even though I'm wrong, but I don't care if I'm wrong, but you are making me, you are getting me furious, and I'm getting vexed with you, and then you are making me uneasy. So yes, that's how it communicates. It tells you how that person feels. In short, that's what it means.
Wow.
Mhm.
Because I agree with you. It's just when I was having conversation with some of my colleagues at work, they just felt like I don't know, like the people are just using it loosely, and you don't really get your point across because now when they say it, it's almost like okay. Well, mostly the men, I would say, right? The men felt like their wives, like when they're having conversation with their wives, it's more than, well, you're gaslighting me. And he's like, this new therapy words, I don't like them because, or they call them a narcissistic, and just pointing out how they always trigger them. Just, and I was like, maybe we should talk about this if this is something that's really happening, because more than three people kept saying, yeah, I agree. But this was mostly from guys. And I'm just thinking, like, is it women are using it a lot compared to men? And why are women using it? Is it something like a buzzword that we're learning from online? And now we want to like use it as a weapon. Yeah.
One point I want to make that I say there's
Uh-huh.
like these things come when somebody go out of word to describe how they feel. These
True.
words come up when they go out of word. And people need to be very careful. Anybody who communicate that way, you gotta come to your sense of consciousness and understand what am I doing that getting this person to their screen. Some people, like especially in your community, I don't want to in your community, people carry their go to right by then. I don't know you understand how to like very English.
I
People
got you. I got you. I got you.
people get their go to. So with those go to with them, and they clearly telling you say, look, you doing this to me, you crossing my boundary, you doing that, you doing this. You have to come to your sense of consciousness and say and know how to deal with that and know how to you know respond to that so that you can be safe from a lot of stuff because I tell you things can be crazy.
Yeah, I learned all that from my husband. He been teaching me a lot of Liberian slang, and he think it's funny when I start using it. So I understand exactly what you're saying.
Okay. So yeah, so that's the way Liberian people carry you. So when they say
Yeah,
you don't understand
yeah,
what
that's a good one. That's a good one. I like that. So basically, according to these three men that was at our table when we're talking, right? They just what I was getting from there is that when like women in general, I didn't want to like pick a gender, but I will. Shiloh, I told you to go back, right? Go back now. Sorry. Go back. Thank you. They are not letting me rest today. I pushed the show to 8. I'm still dealing with them. Oh my goodness. So they, according to them, they were just thinking that they just feel like modern women are using these as a weapon to win a conversation. And, like they don't feel like they can voice themselves without hearing these buzzwords. Well, according to them, therapy speaking words. Um, and basically trying to understand, can knowing more clinical words actually give one partner power over the others? Because let's just say, because some people don't know what gaslighting is. Some people don't really know like when and where to use triggers, when you call this causing them trauma and things like that. A lot of people, most men, I was surprised. A lot of men don't understand. They just thought like trauma will be something that is so dramatic. And I think we talked about trauma on here before. Like trauma wouldn't be, it's not everything that's trauma, but people nowadays just associate anything that just don't make them feel good is a trauma. And now they just feel like, um, okay. Hey, Ruma says, bro, how are you? Thank you. So they just feel like, let's just say you and I got into an argument, right? And now we're talking because I'm more familiar with what the words is and how to use it to manipulate the conversation. I use it to, get you to say, oh, okay, you know what? I'm sorry that I make you feel that this is bringing trauma to you. But if it's something that really needs to be discussed, and one of this guy in the conversation we were having, he actually was filing for divorce. He said because he doesn't feel like he can even sit down to have a conversation with his partner or whatsoever without it becoming a weapon that one, he's a narcissist, and two, this have turned into so because of that, he just avoid having those conversations because it's always turned to that, and then the person started to cry, and he just feel like a lot. And he said in his word, he's like, I've been online. I see I'm not learning what these things means. And when I go back to the conversation we're having, they're really irrelevant that these words are being used. So in other words, I'm trying to understand like, are these weaponizing language that modern women are using now just to kind of like just shut conversation down and makes people like think like, okay, well, I don't want her to feel like she has a trauma, or if the relationship is over, when people are discussing certain things, they make that other partner that is no longer in the picture sounds like they crossed their boundaries and they were traumatized. But in my opinion, as we're discussing this topic, I'm just thinking like, and I think we talk about this in the beginning of your relationship, wouldn't that be something that you start to set what your boundaries are, and like things that can and cannot happen that will traumatize you or stuff like that, so your partner is in agreement that when you're talking, you're more mindful of things that you say before it causes you more harm than it is. I don't know if that makes sense.
Sure. So using the word is one thing, and also using it the right way is another one. Okay, you can use the word, use it in the right place the word's supposed to be. The intention uh, can totally be different. Why the words mean different thing. Sometimes people force a word to mean in a certain space, and these things, it's just like a child is learning how to speak, or maybe in a pre-class, and one is speaking vocabulary and just take another vocabulary and put it into others. One of my cousin was living with me, very small. He used to be going to school, so um, uh, when we go for prayer like that, you were learning vocabulary, so you will say, Daddy God, I pray that you disappoint us and what I. So then when you say that, then my little brother said, "No, God, not disappoint that you alone with this." So what am I saying? That it's like people come with words, try to use words in certain thing, thinking that this is what they think it is. It's the meaning, but totally mean different thing. So using those words, they may not exactly mean the thing they think it is, but again they are communicating something. Okay, like I say, some words will mean the exact thing. It would describe that kind of a way the person is feeling, but it could be from their professional stand, or from their jargons, from in their professional setting, and then they use that word. I am not in that professional setting, so I don't understand what they mean. It would take an educated person to really use the
It's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
It's
So so
okay.
so if a professional person, it would take a professional person to use context clue to understand what
Right.
that person means.
Right.
That's how I like. They will use context clue, but enough with everybody that will do that. So the right way to communicate is you communicate very simple and clear for that other person to understand. And communication will never be completed when the other partner have not understood what you are communicating.
Right.
So that's the true essence of that. So people who use those words and all that stuff, that's why I say you gotta be careful with such a people who are using those words, and you got to understand what kind of intention, what mood they in. Sometimes they are in a excitement and say the word. You can, even whether you understand or not, you know that happiness, right? But
Right.
another person in that mood and then using certain word, you got to be careful with that person. Okay, you got to be
Absolutely.
careful whether you understand that word or not, and you know that you say certain things, and the person is saying those things with that kind of anger, with that kind of, so you need to pause. You need to make a break. You need to, whether you understand it or not, you have to come to a sense of consciousness that, look, maybe what the guy is saying or the lady is saying, it is because of my action, it's because of what I'm saying. So let me try to change it, because our mood itself communicates our state of mind or state of consciousness. Okay, so those words are good to use. And for me, I tell you no lie, these words are very good to use. They are good to use because They use these words sometimes to cut or to communicate their feelings. That's the basic thing.
Right.
They use them to communicate their feelings. While it's true that they can use them in the wrong context and stuff like that, the other side of it is it communicates your feelings. So you don't want to say that you are doing this to me exactly. Then you say, look, dear, you're crossing my boundary. Even though you did not communicate that boundary to me, but my sense will tell me, say, because I tell you, say, if you don't do this, I will not do this. You are wrong. And then you say, look, you're crossing my boundary, right? So my sense
Right.
will say, because I'm telling her she's wrong, and she does not want to take responsibility. That's why she's saying, I'm crossing your boundary. So, yeah. So that's how I look at it.
I agree with you. And then just to add to that, I think also the person in the receiving end, just
Mhm.
because they're not knowledgeable about it, they're thinking like, well, like this gentleman that shared to us in that chat, right? He
Mhm.
said, well, now I'm learning about the words, but it just, I feel like her doing that cut our relationship short. So, I mean, I just wanted us to talk about this topic because I'm seeing the words a lot. And as I'm watching these other creators online, I'm hearing, when women are talking about their healing process, they're talking about how, their partner was gaslighting them,
Mhm.
or, they were creating trauma and stuff like that. If people on here, if you're watching and you don't really know what gaslighting is, I guess I can tell you what gaslighting is. should
Yeah,
i should, I-
yeah, go
should I
ahead.
should I do that, like just tell people what gaslighting is? Because I mean, if this man was really thinking that, sorry, I'm trying to pull up my notes. If he was really thinking that gaslighting was a way of his partner, gaining control of the conversation and not taking accountability for her own action, and he just thought like just loosely using gaslighting or trauma, setting boundaries. But boundaries is something that I just feel like everybody should know what that is. It's not like if you're actually crossing someone's boundary, you yourself know you're crossing someone's boundaries, in unless unless I don't know. But I just feel like, on I guess if the boundary is not spoken, then so
When it's not a
gaslighting,
boundary,
huh?
when the boundary is not set, it's not a boundary.
Right, there's no boundaries if you haven't said it, but then if you're trying to create a boundary in a conversation that someone didn't even know exists, then I guess you're avoiding accountability then, right? So, just for those who may not know what gaslighting is in our modern society, it says that gaslighting is a form of emotional abuse where one person manipulate another into questioning their own reality, memory, or sanity, making them doubt their perceptions and become dependent on their abuser or for validation. So I was watching an episode of like, I don't really sit to watch TV. I'm one of those people I can watch a 1 hour show in like 10 minutes because I try to like fast forward to get to the main point. So I was watching one of these shows called Divorce Court, and this lady was talking about how her husband is never wrong, and he always want her to believe whatever he said is the actual fact to any conversation. So even if she was there and she saw something was wrong, he said absolutely not, because he's the man of the household. So 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 whatever he said is the truth to whatever that conversation is. And she refused to believe that. So it ended up getting them into an argument where she would tell him, stop gaslighting me. I mean, I encourage you guys to actually watch it. But I like watching the divorce court, the one with George Lantoner, because she is so practical. I feel like this woman is. I feel like she birthed me, because her idea, like the way she thinks and how practical she is with life, is the same way how I feel about about things in life. But basically, gaslighting involve persistent denial, misdirection, and lying to creating confusion, causing the victim to feel embarrassed, lost self control, and becoming more vulnerable to control. So the reason I'm saying this is because I want either, let's just say if I'm the one using gaslighting, I need to understand if that person is actually doing that, unless the person is trying to convince you to say, no, you did this wrong. And now you're saying, no, you're making me to believe you. And I feel like a lot of women are really confused. In my truth opinion, I think a lot of women are really delusional about this word. I think they just use it like just to like use it and nobody really understand it. And for me, I can be honest to tell you, until now that I'm reading this definition, I didn't know all of it that connects it to it. So I'm just saying. So the key aspect of gaslighting is to manipulate this distortion of reality, like make you confused about what the truth is, and erosion of self-trust. So instead of you trusting what it is you said and know that it's factual, you start to question and say, oh, maybe it's not true. Maybe they're right. But you're reading the definition, that is it, but they're trying to convince you otherwise. So, and then it's like a gradual process. So I just wanted to read that. If you are the one using gaslighting and you're confusing your partner, you don't know what it is, there you have it. And if you're the husband or the wife thinking like, no, you're using this wrong and you're just using it just to get away from the conversation, then there you have it. You have the internet at your fingertip. Use it. Read it. So we have River Sesper. He posted something. He said, okay, to my two counselors. We're not counselors. But hey, if you want me to be, I will try today. So my two counselor, has any of you been gaslighted by your partner or acquaintance into thinking you're seeing or imagining situation in your life that doesn't exist? Have you ever made to question your own sanity? I have, not with my partner, not my husband, but at my previous role, I felt like I was gaslight a lot. So I had a partner that she and I had to run a whole department. And of course, she was the one, the head, and I was next to her. And I just felt like I was misled. And luckily for me, I like to find things. If you tell me something, not that I don't believe you, I always go back to facts check. So being the new rookie in the room, trying to get information about things and legality of stuff, I just felt like I was misled. And I had to question my own knowledge about things that I knew about our organization. And coming back to find out, I was like, yeah, I was definitely gaslight. So yes, I have experienced it. In my relationship, I'm trying to think. I can't really pinpoint anywhere where I feel like I had to question my sanity. I can't really think about it because I thought about it when I was doing this topic and say, have I ever been gaslight? But I will say in my family, like I feel like I had to question my sanity. And I won't name names, but I had to sit there and just think about it and be like, what are you telling me? I don't know. I've shared on here before. I was a baby when my dad passed away, so I didn't really get to know who he was. And I just think in conveying those messages to me, like giving me information about my dad and stuff like that growing up, I just feel like people were not telling me the truth based on like information I've read and my birth and all of that from my mom. And then other people telling me something else, I just felt like they were gaslighting me. I had to question like, well, is this true or are they making this up? And I asked a lot of questions because my aim was to write about my own life. And I just felt like people were misleading me with information that I didn't know. even though I asked my mom and wanted to get their part of the story as well about things, and I just felt like they were lying. So, yes, I have experienced it, but I wouldn't say in my relationship. I can't really, if I have, I don't remember, but I can't really pinpoint where I was gaslight in my relationship. So, there, your turn,
So
counselor number two.
so you know, no matter what it tastes like,
Mhm.
from your upbringing to where you are right now, people will keep encroaching on you, keep trying to manipulate you in a lot of ways. And
Right,
so it's possible that these things happen. Even they happen that you know about them, you don't take them serious, or you don't give attention to them. They do them. Sometimes um, it could be in a joking form or joviously done, not a serious thing. A partner will want to get certain thing out of you. They will present different picture to you, and but their intention is different. It also could be considered that in a other way. It may not be in a severity form that you say, oh, the person is taking me this level, but it also comes to manipulation. And so if you're holding the meaning of the word that way, those meaning can be directly that, but people use them in a lot of way. Sometimes two basic meaning of words, the denotative meaning, where you read the dictionary tell you this is it, and you have the connotative meaning, where somebody pass it through the word, and then you find yourselves in them. But I am not physically, I am not really being, manipulated by my partner. But a lot of friends have done that. A lot of friends have done that to me, and they would have done it to any other person, especially they want their interest to be done. And then they present a picture to you, this is it. You go for it, and then they turn out the other way, either in their favor, and you become the victim. It have been done in many ways. So yes, I can say that. I I've come to that knowledge that yes, I've been manipulated by people. I've been manipulated. I've been how you call it, um, guilty by my own yielding to certain thing, thinking that it's different, and present
right,
it in a different way. Sometimes you say, "Oh, I thought this was what this person is doing, but never knew he was doing this," and that is gaslighting. We may not. At the time, we may not get that word to say, "Oh, yes, you are doing this to me," but you mention a word that's similar in the meaning of gaslighting. So you see that. So yes, it's possible. It happened many times, and daily life, in our daily encounters, these things happen. So the more you read, the more you listen to people. That's why it's good. By the time somebody says something you don't understand, it's better you consult, you go and make a research. So if you get to come to that knowledge, you say, "Oh yes, I've suffered from this thing, or I've done this thing to somebody, or I've done." Sometimes you do these things without knowing that you have done exact that thing that the person is doing to you, but in an other form. So yes, indeed, I can say that I have been manipulated by people, not my wife, not my fiancé, but by some people that I know very well, especially in our context. You can see, take in our area, you see the politicians. Politicians come in and present things to a community like, I mean, everything is going to be bread and butter. Everything is
right,
going to be good. And then you look at that person because of your relationship with that person from a youthful stage and stuff like that, and believe in that person. And the person gets certain error and completely, change and start to do this the very thing that every one of you guys were against. So what can you see that manipulated the entire society to get their things done? So yeah, so that's how I can say that with it. I don't know if it makes sense to you. Uh,
Roberta's bro. It does. It does. I mean, I agree with you. I think a lot of things, now that I read the definition and I'm a little bit more,
Mhm,
aware of what the word is. Yeah, I just feel like when people want something from you, they
yeah,
will gaslight you. I think everybody have experienced that. We probably didn't know the words of it
mhm,
before, but now, like in modern society, we're learning what those things are. And I think people just need to be mindful. Do I think sometimes we might take it out of context and, say what this person is and not really think too much into it? Yes, I do think that. But I think everybody has been gaslight.
yes.
I probably I don't know how my partner will feel if I ask him, like my husband, if I ask him, have I gaslight you? I probably have without even thinking. Now that I'm sitting here thinking about it.
So you ask yourself the first thing. Ask yourself, have I pushed idea that mean different to my partner and then mean different to me, or my idea is seeking to achieve certain thing, but I need to either maybe do a small lie to convince my partner and then learn to what I wanted to do. Have I done it? Then you answer the question maybe yes or no.
I
So to
think
say,
I'm like, because I'm a very persuasive person. Like
ah,
when I want,
that is what I want to say. So exactly that's what I'm reading here. That's just what
so
you tell
I'm very self-aware. So I know I'm very like persuasive and I
me.
know when I want certain things, I know
Mhm.
how to go about it to get it. So I can definitely say I probably have gaslight him.
I mean, everybody have done it one way or
Yeah.
another.
So I don't think it probably wasn't done maliciously, but just to get him to like
Mm,
agree with what I want. So I
right.
probably have gaslight him. But then again, I thought about it and said, have I gaslight my team? I think
Oh
I
no,
have.
obviously in the
Yeah.
working terrain, we do that a lot.
Yeah.
Any
I
good
gaslight them a lot.
leader, let me say this, as a leader, as a leader in a team,
Yeah.
you gaslight in a certain way. It may not be
Yeah.
with malicious intention. It
Right.
may be something that would be so much that would bring them maybe disgrace to that team. But the final analysis is not, you did not say the truth to that person that, Lord, I want you to do this so I can achieve this. You know, if you tell the person because they don't know the importance of what you want to achieve, they will not agree with you.
Yeah.
You definitely say something. And
Yeah.
then,
So recently, I don't know if I told you I had to resign from my role for like 6 months because I had to take care of the family stuff. So, for night shift, my company had to create another role for me just to be able to,
exactly.
get back.
Mhm,
So it's a blessing, and I'm very, very grateful for that because I don't think everybody get that opportunity.
mhm,
So this new team that I have,
mhm.
we have people that I mean, they're not, I think these are like typical group of people that I'm used to managing compared to the one I had before.
Mhm.
That one was just in the inner city and it was just a mess. I was like, how did it put me here? But this one is in an area where but they are very, I don't know how to put it. I don't know anybody who's in leadership for a night shift, how it goes. Like it's so hard. Nobody wants to come to work. So I feel like I have to gaslight people a lot to get them to understand like why they need to come. So the other day I was speaking to one of the leadership. I got him a little bit early so I can meet with people to talk. And then they were like, well, I will tell you, since you started, I don't know. Everybody's coming. What are you doing? And I just
You should have told them I'm gaslighting.
I'm like, well, I don't know. Maybe. So it's like, yeah, it's so strange because before you started, everybody, there will probably only be like three people. There's supposed to be 15 people, but there's always only three people in that department, and they were struggling. But since you started, it seems like almost everybody come to work every night. And I said, well, maybe they're all trying to feel me out and understand how I roll before they start doing what they're supposed to do. I said, well, I appreciate that, but I don't want you to speak it too loud. I don't want them to hear it and start, you know.
And start thinking something is going on. Yes, so
So I
true.
said,
So true.
let's just keep it like that. He said, yeah, and they're even working. Nobody's hiding, sleeping somewhere else. Everyone is just, I see you walking around when you do your rounds in all the department, and I just see people are just doing their work. I said, well, we had this conversation. We're all adult. I'm not here to babysit. You're gonna do what you sign up to do. If you don't want to work, don't come to work. If you come to work, I expect you to do your work. Period. That's just it. I'm not. I have two children. One is 3, one is 5, and they are not of age to work. So I'm not here to do that. I'm just direct. I tell people exactly what it is, how I operate. All I care about, do what you're supposed to do, and you'll hear nothing from me. But if you don't do anything, you don't do what you're supposed to do, and I'm hearing complaint about patients area and all that, then we have a problem. I'm on you on my radar. I'll be behind you till you do it. So, you know, and that's that. So River says Pro said, I think therapeutic language can sometimes create confusion during counseling. I agree. Words like boundaries can be misunderstood. I know, and that's what I was thinking about, right? Because when you're in a relationship, how do you know what type of boundaries to set? Because you're supposed to be a partner. So how do you, I know we talk about this, but some people can be thinking like, well, how are you telling my partner to create a boundaries? Would it not create like a division between us? Is that like I can't talk to them about something that is pressing on me without them feeling like I'm crossing the boundaries? So what do you say to that though?
You know, he was specific with a word that I have
Mhm.
problem with.
Yeah.
I would not. I don't expect myself to even tell a good friend of mine, say, this is my boundary. I don't want you to cross before I talk about telling my partner. Now,
Mm.
what is boundary? Boundary, in another sense, you could set a boundary. Boundary could be a point that nobody goes across.
Right.
When we take in a sense of relationship, friendship, and what have you, boundary could be a place where nobody could cross and go there. Yeah, you could set a boundary to be say, yes, it's my personal, maybe my personal affairs. I don't want any friend to cross it. You don't have to melt into my family issue. If you telling your wife or your spouse, if you telling your spouse, say, this is my boundary. I don't want you to cross this boundary of mine. I don't know what that means. I'm not comfortable with that word always. I don't like that word. Setting that boundary with your spouse. You can set a boundary with maybe the public. Look, your working area, that maybe you come home, you don't want for anybody to call you when you come home.
Right.
That's a boundary. You get that, it's clear. You could set that boundary. You could set a boundary with your even your boss. He knows
Yeah.
exactly what you want. You can set that boundary, but you can't set a boundary when you get home with your spouse. What the boundary would be like? You set your boundary. She sets hers. Where are you guys landing? Okay, you know what? My boundary is if I'm sleeping, don't touch me. Don't call me. Maybe that's the boundary you're gonna set. If it makes sense to you.
That's problem.
Yeah, that I know. That's what I'm saying. Maybe that's the boundary you want to set. That look, if I'm sleeping, I don't expect you to wake me up. Is that a boundary you want to set? Or if I have money here, I don't expect you to use that money. Don't use it. No matter what problem you have, don't touch it. Is that a boundary you want to set? What's the
Mhm.
boundary that you're supposed to set for your spouse? So in my opinion, these words, like you said it exactly in the sense of counseling, they are troublesome words.
Right.
And the counselor must be emphatic about it. Be emphatic about it and be able to let them know that there are certain things you can't go about doing that when you are a couple. There are certain things. Be clear about it. It may sound sweet, sound good to anybody, and say, "Lord, I gotta do that. I got my no space. Give me space." These are some of the words. They say, "I need space." Oh no, I need space. You don't have to touch my phone. You gotta give me a chance. Let me do this thing. I mean,
Yeah.
protect your,
Personal space.
protect your everything. I don't know where are you going. So yes, you're right. So those words are troublesome words when it comes to counseling and what have you.
Absolutely. Hey, River Sespero, welcome.
Oh, he's here. Okay, welcome,
He
bro.
came on. He came to clarify for us.
Come in because there are two powerful statements you made there.
Yeah,
Boundaries.
so I agree though. I just feel
Mhm.
like, and I think that's where this guy was coming from at my job when he was saying like, you know, the wife keep saying like her boundaries being crossed. She's like trauma. And it's just like he's just like, I don't understand. I just feel like there are things she's doing and I want to discuss it, but it seems like we can't pass that because the conversation don't go once she's used those words. That's the end of the conversation because I don't want to feel like I'm pushing it. So then he's like, it's been going on for a few months, and now
Don't
he's at the
forget,
point where he wants a
he
divorce.
said when these words are used, he doesn't feel that crossing that, right?
Right. He doesn't want to cross it, so he doesn't continue the conversation.
Yeah.
And that's what we're talking about it here because it's like, how do you truly get a full conversation in conflict, like discussing an issue without these words hindering the conversation, without someone just using it to not take accountability of their action or just to stop the other person from having a conversation because now they feel this way and the person is worried that they're going to be causing more harm than they're doing. So it just creates that lack in your relationship, and you can't really like. He just felt like he's at the point where he just want a divorce because he can't go any further.
Well, that could be one-sided.
Yeah.
That could be one-sided. But if it is true that
Mhm.
the other partner kept saying that, um, there could be another step taken forward. Further, you need to take a step further.
Mhm.
Like River says, bro, touch it. You need to share with either a counselor, married counselor. If you got married and you have your counselor, you need to reach out up to the counselor. Apparently, there is
Yeah.
something that is lacking. This individual, your spouse is not understanding certain things. And you communicating that is not going forth. Another person could have a second look or a second talk about that. That could be the first thing to me, if that's my case. To me, probably possible. Yeah, marriage counselor is the best thing in the setting where we find ourselves. But when
Right.
it depends if family member could be the best person as well to have some consultation. It could be good. Maybe the lady mom could be the reasonable lady mom could have some understanding as to what you mean your spouse is crossing your boundary. What do you mean by that? There could be something like that to understand exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think we talked about boundary here before, right?
mhm.
I'm just trying to remember how do we discuss that because that's a really. I just feel like it's very sticky. Hey, River Vesper, welcome.
Yeah, I was on the people. We got a little we got our little prayer thing prayer line thing. I had to run over from the people. I hope they can see me on your.
Boy,
Ah,
you'll be in trouble.
I see when they spot on it, they would But anyway, It's a great topic. Decided to hop on a little bit, but yeah, it's those languages. You know, my first question to you guys is,
Mhm.
I don't know if any of you ever been to. I know that's a personal business, but you know, we are more like
You don't get boundary here, go ahead.
exactly,
No
we are
pressure.
educated
Ask
people.
questions.
Yeah, if any of you have ever been in a counseling section, because I want to stay on track with our topic here. If any of you has been in looking at your experience, you know, looking at your experience. So for me, guys, I don't know if I said it on here, but it's nothing to so I used to be like I used to do a lot of drinking, you know, back in the days. So I would go out, lavish money, hang out with friends, get drunk, call into job, blah blah blah, a lot. And my life was spiraling out of control. So you know, I went to few alcohol section. So I never really been to marriage counseling, but I went to few section, and uh, I had a feeling though, and in comparison to marriage counseling, I think maybe you guys might have some experience. Fee, I'm not saying you be to marry. I know your relationship is great. But
It's
I'm
not
just
perfect. It's not perfect.
I don't
yeah,
know if you say that before you get married, you must have a meet counselor. Maybe not everybody can do that though, but
yeah. Most of
Actually,
the
I didn't
yeah,
do marriage counseling before marriage,
yeah. Most of the
but I
most.
did have some consult with like, cause my
mhm.
brother is a pastor.
Mhm.
We talked and stuff like that, but I didn't really go through like the whole counseling process like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay, yeah. Because most counseling, the one most of the one you see is when the relationship is in turmoil. That's when you see them go to fix thing, they go to somebody. But my question to you guys, because for my counseling, behavioral health counseling, alcohol, I sorry to say that, guys, but it did not help my situation. Everything I did that was just routine. I was just trying to get out of that place. If I was there for 3 months, seriously, Fee, I was just answering the question. I was not trying to make, you know, they ask me how you doing, how you think. I say yes. I was playing along just so I can get, because it was at some places I went, it was recommended for me to do, 2 months, 3 months. So I just went by their spreadsheet, whatever they have. But psychologically, mentally, it was not what took me. By the way, I started drinking for almost 8 years now. Thank God.
Nice.
Yeah, but
That's good.
yeah, I would not attribute it to the counseling, because I didn't seriously. I believe the counselor was just there to kind of like, they got their book, their 12-step solution. It's just routine, but it didn't help, because I know a lot of people who the counselor went to relapse, and for me, I have to rely on God, for my deliverance. So I think counseling, and my question, question and comment is, I think counseling is not. I don't know if it creates. I think it creates more some counseling, not all. It creates,
Right.
yeah, it creates some guilt in people, where you have to go to the counselor. So I was watching this one. I don't know if you got into comedy. This one guy that went to the marriage counselor, and then the counselor said, "Well, there's a safety net. You can say anything." It was so funny. That's one of my favorite. And oh, Fee and Peter said the guy started opening his mouth. He said, "Yeah, the last time me and my wife was walking, and I saw this one little hot chick, and I was kind of and then
I
the
see
counselor,
that.
and then the counselor froze, and the guy said, "Wait, wait, wait! I thought you told me there was." I thought you told me I can say anything. It was so funny. The dude was ready to, even his web turned around and look at him. His web, yeah, he said, I saw this one chick, I was kind of like, try, and web look at him, and the counselor like, and then he said, but what else? So I think, and I don't know what your version is or what your feeling is, but I think counseling are meant to create some guilt in people, to create more counseling will I don't believe it help people's situation, people who are who no longer feels they want to be together, I think they will eventually part way. I don't know the success rate of counseling, but as far as alcohol counseling, I know a lot of people relapse. They go to
Yeah.
these. Yeah, so my feeling about it. So I don't know what you guys think in general as far as counseling is concerned. I know we're talking about gaslighting, where they would talk about boundaries, or fee, the boundary, and then the woman might understand the boundary differently. The man might understand the boundary differently. When these two people get home, be like, wait, wait, wait. I thought we just talk about boundaries. It's like, oh, yeah, but that's not,
Yeah.
yeah, his understanding, Peterson, of boundary, we men, our understanding of boundary will be completely different from how women understand boundary. So, that's a good topic. So, a lot of these therapeutic languages that they use, do we really understand them, Peterson, when we getting out, or is this just their part of their routine that they have to tell you, and then you say, yeah, we agree, and then you come home, you try to start to throw the kitchen sink at each other again? I don't know. That's
I know.
yeah.
I My goodness. So first, I want to say congratulations on that because I think it's really tough.
Yeah.
I have been to one of those counseling, not for me, but I've been like a support person
Yeah.
for one of my roommates that we were together. Actually, I encouraged her to go because when we were at school, our freshman year, I just felt like she was going down, like she was just going. We were roommates. She had her own room. We all just shared the living area, and like instead of her going to class, she was just doing a whole lot. So anyway, long story short, I ended up meeting her parents and they were really concerned about her just drinking, and she had like drinks all in her dorm. I don't know how she snuck it in, but she had it. It was in water bottles and everywhere. So even if you went in her room and you grab a water bottle, it was like, what in the world?
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
child.
Yeah, I mean, I went there, me and the girl were driving. I go grab a water bottle, ready to drink. I'm thirsty. I just like, what? I would spit it out. I was like, what is this? But anyway, the one that I went with her, I didn't really think it was personal that they were really helping. I felt like they just sat in a group and they were just talking. They were just saying, they would repeat these things that I don't really remember because it's over 15 years ago, but they would repeat these things and they would say things and she'll repeat it and then like she'll come back and it wasn't really, really helping. I think her parents really had to get her off campus to start getting her help and stuff like that. But I feel like counseling in a way it has its good, but I don't think the success rate is high in my opinion because like most people that I watch that would say, well, we went to counseling, we've been married for 30 years, they still end up in divorce.
Yep.
And I think some of the counseling really bring out some of the information that the partner wants to know.
Yep.
And it just, I don't know, I feel like create more problems
Thank
if
you.
the
Yeah.
if the people don't. Huh?
Yep.
Did you tell your dad? Did you
Yep.
tell that?
That's that
Like,
point. Thank you for stressing that point, Fee. Yep.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. You guys welcome, Richmond going by.
Richmond going back. We'll soon be closing anyways.
Richmond going by.
Wait, that who ordered Andrew?
That's my birthday boy.
He in the corner.
Oh my man, I threatened the man on his birthday
I,
before he gets scared.
I
I'm
missed the
scared of,
man's birthday. Oh God.
I'm scared of you. I'm scared of you,
I,
Russell.
I threatened your position. He bounced straight. He come out. He said,
Yeah,
Like, oh, man. Look, I just laugh at you. You're not be pregnant in my family. They show a family show. You're not telling me for that. No amount of politics will be me for that.
oh God. Oh man.
The walking on man in man. All my birthday time will be very much say you have to politics in this here. Look,
yeah, I know that young birthday, that old birthday.
I
The men
know
are
that.
young men. The men are young men. The men are sweet 16.
Yes, okay. So, I look at it different though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead.
When you talk about counseling, um, the first thing for counseling, because my own, there's kind of a Western counseling where people, somebody who is nowhere experienced will just take some kind of book and can put it before you to start reading or can start answering questions. Yes, they call that counseling, but I think the people are working for their money. That's
Yep.
how I think about it.
True.
When the Bible talk about counseling, that talk about advice, giving professional advice or and enlightening people of a real happening and then giving you solutional advice, it's a different thing. I don't see it like what happened here. But counseling, when it is the counseling, the context of counseling, I know that I've been in it before getting married. I have that kind of a consultative counseling with my pastor, my gay Peter pastor. Yes, so I know what to tell you. I know how they set you up to understand what you go into. I know that.
Gotcha.
So counseling helps in all general, in fairness, counseling helps if it is done the right way. Counseling disclose your guilt, make you to see your guilt, and then provide solution and also provide precautionary measure not to enter into that. That on a general note, that's all about the religious counseling now I know of. Okay, it's not like what the river says talk about. Go right, answer this thing, and go. How you feeling? I know. They tell you they will give you some other experience and stuff like that. And from that explanation, you get to know what you have done wrong. You will know you are going in error. And then telling you, coming, bringing you back that this, don't think if this are happening to you, it is you alone. We have a lot of people this are happening to them. And this is how they go about. So setting that up, it gives you, they may not say you're forced to do this or whatever, but that these pieces of advice, it puts you on the right footing to be able to guide your step. And it resuscitates people a lot. A lot. Resuscitate people a lot. Like if you are in a activity that you got counseling through maybe like sorry to say the alcoholism that you mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
if if a counselor were to tell you what it is, the health danger, the future, your future, what potential damage they're going to cause your family, there will be some statement that you will find it really deeply rooted that you say, wow, what's the benefit that I can get out of this thing? So comparing the benefit and the how you call that, and the effect, the impact, when you compare them, if a real good counselor do this kind of analysis to give you advice, my brother, you'll never pass by that thing.
Mm-hmm.
You will never pass by it.
You think so, Peterson?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, Andrew will come in, but I don't know if seriously, I don't have faith in counseling, God. Let me just admit, seriously, be it marriage counseling or divorce, or like one of those ones that I don't have, because what I think is, for some
Mm-hmm.
reason, see, I'm a what the right word to use? I don't want to say introvert, but I'm more like uh not secretive, but that's a word that you
Private,
know, huh?
private.
Private, good. I don't like putting too much stuff on there. So, and I feel, I mean, for the alcohol one, I mean, who told you I was already telling those people that how many beer I used to drink? Because you can't, seriously, when you be too extreme, Peterson, you're not going to graduate from there, because then, they will elevate your level. Say, Jesus, this guy was drinking this amount. So you always got to tell them what they want to hear. So we were always, to be honest, we were always dishonest to them. You can't be too fair to them. You will not leave that place. They will just keep you there, because then they will call you an habitual drinker. You only want to be, you have to present yourself as a social drinker. But I know that one is different from the marriage. But I mean, in other words, what I'm saying is, I'm a private person, so I believe if me and my relationship, me and wifey was to go to a counselor, say something happened, maybe it involved cheating, maybe it involved financial something. I don't know if I really had that confidence. You know, it's almost like Catholic people go for confession. I think they say they go on the back to the priest and tell him something what they did, what the weekend, oh, I did this, I did that. But I feel, Peterson, I wouldn't trust. I don't have faith in counseling. Seriously, I
Why?
wouldn't.
Why don't you? What do you mean you wouldn't trust?
I wouldn't want to put my business out to a counselor. I mean, okay, so, okay, for example, let me just give some example that is kind of like, hey, guys, it might sound that is not unconventional, but I mean, this is a safety net anyway. Let's say involve in impotence, like maybe, I'm just saying something. Two people go
Yeah.
to and say, okay, the man can function. Jeez, I can't imagine myself going to seriously. Yeah, I mean, going and say, "Oh, the man got erectile dysfunction." Seriously, I that would not be something. And those I think people go to counselor. Oh, the sex life is not good anymore because he's this.
But to go to a person who's the subject matter, though, you wouldn't go to. I mean, are you saying like going to a pastor or because if you go to some subject matter, they might have medication or things like to point you through. So why wouldn't you want to talk to them?
Yeah, I mean, for me,
That's why he said, as clear as he said, it's a secret. He like to.
yeah, I'm a private person, so I
Oh,
wouldn't.
okay.
I
Yeah,
I
that's
would
why.
rather have to seek my own medication, maybe go online or go to the pharmacy.
So
But
you don't go to your doctor?
You're
Let's
wrong.
talk
no,
about this.
no. I mean, with that about, okay. Say for example, say if me and wifey had a problem because of that, or maybe
Right.
we're not being intimate. Maybe there's no intimacy in the home, or even besides, say it's not about your erectile dysfunction.
Yeah,
Maybe it's
just
just,
intimacy. I think a lot of
yeah,
relationships go through that
yeah,
hurdle.
yeah. So, and then we go into a counselor and then explaining everything. I just find it uncomfortable. Maybe because I'm a traditional person, or maybe, but that would not be something I would go and sit. They be there. Oh yeah, I don't. Me and my, it being like 3 months now, we have not touched each other because of this. That
Yeah.
I don't know. I just cannot see myself. I mean, it's nothing wrong with it for other people, but for me, I cannot just see myself because I don't think there will be I mean, I don't know, guys, but maybe I have enough.
I don't think you're wrong for that. There are people who are like my husband is one of those people. He will not he
See,
don't want to discuss it. He said you and I can talk about it. That's it.
Yep.
that's
We're
right.
not going anywhere to discuss this.
Yeah.
Unless you say I have to discuss it with you, who is my
Right.
partner, and
But
the person is comfortable discussing it with partner, and that's it. It means you have spoken about it. But
right.
no matter, no level of any emergency in
Hmm.
you, for you,
Yeah.
that you keep it as private, only for you, that
Okay.
nobody should care about it.
Right. You
Okay.
should share with your partner and
You
they
are
can
not
figure out.
proceeding the right way. It's not
Right.
a right step in human life. The second
Uh-huh.
thing is a step you take to a counselor. This is why we talk about subject matter. Okay,
Yeah.
if you get an SME, a subject matter expert, to be able to look into that, is very good for you. Anybody for that matter, no matter how private say you believe,
Hmm.
you should be able to have a point of disclosing information that is dedicated to you, to somebody. It's important for your life, for the life of your family, for
Hmm.
the life of your generation. It's very important. That's why I think we discussed the family issue once and said, even it's important that you let your child or your children know the challenges you have had
Hmm.
in the past.
Hmm.
Let them get ideas, sense of understanding of how your upbringing look like, how you look like, what are things that play in your mind. Very important. So
Yeah.
if you have something going on, it's better you share with somebody. Share with somebody that is expert or your partner. Then your partner will know exactly when at certain point we know what to do next. For me, I believe in believe in privacy, but also like to share with somebody, especially if I think maybe that's my weakness, but to
Okay.
let somebody understand this is what is happening, this is what is happening. I mean, the right person though, it's not just any other person.
Anyone, yeah.
Okay.
Person. Just get it right. It's not just any other person. So
Okay.
I feel it's a gateway. It's a
Okay.
gateway. So that's how I
I,
look at it.
I agree. I want to clarify a little bit on when I said I don't believe in counselor. I think it can only work if you, but I still doubt that counseling work, in certain situations, especially with marriage, because given the fact that there's a lot of people who say, yeah, we did a whole therapy thing, but then we ended up in divorce, right?
Yep.
I think the only way it might have a chance of surviving and working, in my opinion, if you and I, let's just say my husband and I sat down, we bare our souls to each other and say everything that happened, and we've tried to work it out on ourselves. We're just looking for a way to help us to pass that, what we've been working on, and giving us pointers on things we can do to heal. I think there might be a chance of success.
Yeah.
But if everybody have not really been fully honest and disclose everything that happened that caused that problem,
It's a
and you go to counseling and everything's being revealed, I
That's
think that's where the counseling does not work at
right.
all.
Right.
Okay.
Because
Right.
at this point, it's like, what? This is a new revelation. Oh no. Now you create more trauma in their head, and they're just sitting there thinking now they don't want to talk to you. You
Right.
come from counseling, and then this person's angry. Instead of it being like a healing process, now it turned into this, wow, you did
Right.
that. Now we come home, we're discussing these. But before, in my suggestion to people, if you're going to go to counseling, whatever the issue is, sit down and really hash it out, talk it out to each other, have that moment and time in place so that person can really sit there, absorb it, and feel like, okay, is this all you have to tell me? There's nothing else. If we went to counseling, so when you go to counseling, when these things are coming up, it's something, it's not new that you're hearing. It's something that you've heard before, and now you're trying to work your way through to see how a third party can help you to, solve these problems. But you go to counseling, like they say, this is a safe zone, like that show, the movie. And he said, yeah, I saw that. I remember that movie. He said, I
That
saw that cute
yeah,
girl.
that old they call it old school. With Will, very funny.
He said, I saw that little thing, and she was moving around.
And Webb look at you like. then the counselor say, counselor said, what? Then he said, well, I thought he said, yeah, go on. Then he just killed his whole thought. But
He said, I don't know. So if you can't say it all, if it's something that's where I feel like a lot of marriages starts to just go downhill. Like for me, if my marriage was at that point where we needed counseling and we really needed to hash it out, we are going to sit down. You're going to tell me everything. I'm going to tell you everything. And then if we can't solve it on our own, then we find a third party to help us how to sort these things out. I really think that was the whole concept of counseling. But now people just wait and hold it in, and then when they go to counseling, yeah, you cheated. Yeah, you did that. And then it's like, oh, wow, I'm sitting here. I feel like somebody else took my body and I'm hearing everything new, So I
but
think that's where it is.
but see if I don't know what it Andrew, but if
Andrew, man, I want to
if
I'm
yeah
busy with
But
work.
yeah, listening to you.
so
I'm following the discussion. I'm
so
listening to you.
yeah
When you give me chance to talk, I will talk.
yeah yeah, but man,
Because
you prep the man, you coming in shortly. But why and Peterson and Drew, why you think people give negative connotation or negative meaning to counseling? If in other words, it's supposed to stand for positivity, though. You know what I'm saying? People supposed to go to counseling session to save their marriage. But why is it that for example, I hear they say fee and hospital gonna come and be like, yo, ooh, what? When you know fee, then who looking like
Yeah.
they got everything going good. So
I
why
hope they
is it
don't
that?
think that we don't have everything going.
Yeah, no, I know. I always
I know. I'm just messing with you.
yeah. So why should people? People will be like, 'cause seriously, God, I don't care what we say about it. Even my man Peterson, you say for example, Peterson and wife going to America, people will be like, the first thing that go into our mind is, ooh, it must be bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, people, because we already believe that nobody go to counseling session for minor stuff. So what do you think people see counseling as the last, like that negative, as the last resort, rather than, something that is positive to save their marriage? Why people think that when you go to counseling now, like people, like my question is, people see counseling more like hospice, like, that
Oh
is,
yeah,
yeah,
yes, bro.
seriously. So why do you think so? Like, I
Yeah,
mean, isn't it supposed to be a positive thing?
Andrew can speak to that.
Let's hear from Andrew on that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, I have an answer though for my opinion. Andrew speak.
Okay, thank you guys for the show. It's important that we continue to be here and discuss issues that affect people's daily life. And uh, the topic is great. You see, the issue of counseling, in my opinion, it, it derives from two views. It depends on the individual involved, let's say, so to speak. Ross is saying, no, he doesn't believe in counseling. It's his belief. It's what he believes in. And probably he got his experience. And he doesn't want to go to his outside person, third party,
Yeah.
to be able to discuss it. Other people say, no, I believe third party will be able to discuss it and then we harmonize the issue. Now, but here's the thing. Before I go into depth with what I want to say this. When you coming into a relationship, when it comes to relationship aspect, where there is no full disclosure or do's and don'ts. And I remember we discussed the thing before. I think the Peterson highlighted that. Where there is no full disclosure or do's and don'ts. And at the dying me, somebody slipped and then they run to counseling. Well, they will go to counseling, but someone is already hurt. The credibility, the trust they have in you will no longer be there. Take example. You got in a relationship and you have a kid before you got in a relationship, but you didn't disclose that kid to your partner. And at the end of the day, one of these, the other partner discovered that trust issue. And this is what I want to say: when you get into a relationship, there should be a full disclosure of all of the do's and don'ts, and both of you can agree upon it to be able to live. With all of the flaws you have, all of the flaws that I have, we can reconcile it. We can agree, to it, and then we find a workable solution that will lead us into a positive and everlasting marriage. I don't blame people who say they don't want to have counseling. They have their personal reasons. Because there are instances where people have gone for counseling, husband and wives have gone for counseling, and at the end of the day, the husband was taken by the counselor, and vis-a-vis, vice versa.
Yep.
So you
True.
see the person will not want to go. And you want to go to people who are you going to counsel you?
Hmm.
You go to the person who is knowledgeable of that particular thing, who understands the social, the economic, the all means about that particular topic you're going to discuss on the thing, who have experience. You're not going to sit down somebody and like, I remember one time, I think, I don't know, a year or 2 years ago, we discussed something in our, I think I brought a topic up. Should a pastor who is not married counsel a couple? And I said vehemently, I said no,
Right.
because he doesn't have no experience. So you went to somebody who doesn't have experience in marriage, who doesn't, well, he just read some counseling book and other things. Yes, some people go to school for it. But I say no. You cannot be a pastor who you are not married and you say you want to counsel me
And you're looking for a woman
or
who's
married
married.
and you're looking for a woman. For
And
me, I
my
have an
wife
issue.
is there.
No.
Yeah. So many of them, that's why so many say, me, I'm not going to no counseling. There are no lot of people, some friends, who marriages are dissolved today because of similar reason.
Hmm.
Oh, lama men of God, lama dati. And that's the name they call them nowadays.
A dirty man.
So I
Yeah.
don't blame any man or woman who say they don't want to cancel. But again, if you want your relationship and your partner to move forward, honestly, I believe the first step of contact, the first action that should be taken, it should be something that will be done between the both of you. No one is perfect, no one is infallible. Where both of you will sit together and understand those things. When you reach a point where you cannot understand each other and reconcile your differences, then you can take it up. Preferably, if you are Christian, to your pastor and let him know, he or she know, look, we are in this kind of situation, and how do we go out of it? He will put some biblical scriptures and let you know and lead you by the Bible. Why is it that other people who are counseling, they don't let's talk of we Christians. They went to school, they did counseling, but they don't have that biblical knowledge about counseling to quote the scripture to tell you what the scripture says about counseling. Someone in the school way, I want to be a guidance counselor. They go to you, they are psychologists. Okay, that then they tell you, they look at you, they read your mind, and tell you whatever they want to tell you. You look at it, if you do it this way, and sometimes it comes all good. We have don't get me wrong. Sometimes those things come as good. But but in my opinion, I wouldn't blame anybody for not going to counsel because situations things happen. But I believe the first step you need to take is before you try to iron it off before going to the third party. Because the issue of the tendency of you going to third party immediately when something happens before you resolving it at home, it may lead to something greater. Probably the person might be doing something he just thinks so it just blew out of proportion. Oh, why did you go there? I understand. There was something that happened between somebody and somebody. And the person said, oh, why did you take it to the person? Why did you take it to the person? So people will want for their matter to be settled. But I understand a lot of people, I believe in problem shared is problem solved. But who are you going to tell your situation to? You see, the reason why people don't want to go out to people nowadays, and
Can't
I'm
hear
sorry to say,
you.
just like in America,
Uh-huh.
you know,
Uh-oh. We lost you.
Drew, the man go. What happened?
We lost you. Can you hear us?
So sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Oh, you're sorry. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
What me?
yeah, it's okay, buddy. Go ahead.
We can hear
You're
you
getting
now.
me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Call came in. I'm using my phone. So I'm saying this is the situation. This what happened. Okay. Especially those of you that in America there, where you're getting shallow around there, the all around there, they saying all kind of gossip thing.
Oh, you can watch
They
it
take
too.
their
I think
problem,
other
they
way
carry
in
it to them,
Canada,
and
you
they
can
bring
watch
it
it
up
and
on
you
the one
won't trouble.
stage. And it becomes serious problem. So for me, I get serious issue with it. This is why people don't let to carry that problem outside to people because if it
Yes,
go to people, some people want to keep that mouth shut.
I
They will
agree.
take that mouth and carry somewhere and start to delve into your family related issue. And this is
Yeah.
why, for me, my family issue will not come outside on Facebook. Nobody will do my family issue on Facebook. I'd rather discuss about them. If I can't get it solved, I'll let it be. But to take it for someone else to be putting something about it. So again, counseling is good, but know who to carry your information to. I'll rest there for now.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think,
That's
yeah.
yeah,
So
that's
thank
a
you so
good
much,
point.
Andrew. I think the is resounding. And
I
your
lost contact. I need to come on and go back in the phone. Disturb me. I need to come back and go in.
Yeah. Go and come back.
Okay.
We still got a few minutes.
So
See
River
when we
says,
leaving.
River says,
Let's try to.
River
So
says,
let's get your input and then we try to put.
yeah, River says, your
Yeah.
question, you have two words that suit for me, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion.
Yeah.
Number one, the reason why counseling does not work.
Mm-hmm.
People come from counseling, they discover new things, and they don't believe that counseling work is dishonesty.
Thank you.
If
Mm-hmm.
you are dishonest
Mm-hmm.
with your partner,
Mm-hmm.
to your partner,
Yeah.
she does not know what you are into. You don't know what she's into. And you dare sitting down thinking, say, you don't want to tell her, you want her to go to the counselor, then you explain it to the counselor in your presence.
Mm-hmm.
You are just in a clear term, you just want to break down your relationship.
Yep.
Because the counselor position is not to force anybody to agree with them.
True.
No, the counselor should be somebody who let you know the consequences and let you know what will help you.
Yep. Mm-hmm. True.
So when they tell you the consequences as per their experience and let you know and advise you, if you don't want to take the advice, the way they force you, they will
Okay.
not. So you got to be honest first. Dishonesty it costs a lot of stuff. And what was the last? What was the next question?
I was saying that why do people look at it in negative sense rather than why do people see counseling like almost like hospice care? Like when you go to counseling, people think is a no way out. I mean, that's the last resort rather than looking at a positive. Why don't people have a positive mindset for like if people go to counseling? Oh yeah, that's great. People be like, oh, they're gonna be like they Peterson, Peterson counseling. Oh no, that's
Good. Yeah,
yeah.
I get that. So that
Mm-hmm.
like the first one is that. The second one is ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
Ignorant help to put these things on fire. Ignorant. You believe that, like for example, you already know you are dishonest to your partner. You already know that when you get there, you talk nonsense now that it's not going to work. Yes, you already know that.
Yeah.
Then you just get up from the blue sky and say the thing, everything. In fact, I can't tell you. Let me go to the counselor and tell the counselor. I mean,
Yeah.
thinking that
Woo.
when you get to the counselor is going to perform miracle. It's not going to work, right?
Yeah, you're
So
right.
ignorance and dishonesty will even make the counselor not to be worthy of your explanation. And you
Mm-hmm.
will look at the counselor to be like something, wow, they didn't do good job. They didn't do good job. Many people will say that. But again, counselor in this Western setting, most of them using finding looking, I mean, let's say working for pay. They're doing nothing better to get you there. They're working for pay. It's better to go counsel people in how you call it, alcoholic, maybe people who going over speed limit, because there are set rules for these things. They're going to take the book and tell you, say, this is what the law say. When you do this thing wrong, this is what's going to happen to you. This is what's going to, but not by marriage that you want to mend the broken pieces. If you think you want to mend the broken pieces and you just bring a book to put it before them, no wisdom, there is nothing. I mean, it's not going to work, in my opinion.
But you think I don't feel can but so God you think counselors can get overwhelmed like even you're in the healthcare center feel like do you get like I mean isn't that why you're trained for okay for example like I mean like you say in Peterson so initially the guy just part of everything the counselor ain't even expecting that maybe she thinking like well maybe they got little the next thing the guy kind of like oh our me and her friend were together her best friend and for the and yeah, so do you think sometimes we put a counselor in a situation where they themselves get overwhelmed and look?
We have Rosa, we stay alone now. I don't think they're important, but I can have
Yeah, but based on what you said the man go to the counselor, he start talking no instead of everything he said, well, I go to the counselor. The woman too just thinking that the man or woman counselor thinking that some little minor problem. The man start spilling everything or calling name, marry the other person, Jean. The other person in the woman like, whoa, I did not prepare for this. So that's why I was yeah,
I agree. I agree. Actually, I've seen that on this counseling show called Divorce Court. But this guy in the filing the paperwork he put in there, all the thing that they say they have the problem. When the judge trying to hear his side, because they go there to see if they can save their marriage or they should file for divorce.
Mm-hmm.
So in the process of him explaining, the man revealed he got 2 children on the way.
Jeez. For a whole different relationship.
She was like, so you didn't think this was something you needed to discuss before you got here?
Wow.
And then the surprising part was that the baby mamas were backstage. They came in the morning, wanted to come on the show to clear the air.
Oh my God.
I thought, but this is good TV.
Complex.
This is good TV, right? That's what everybody wants, want the ratings. But it was just crazy. But to go to your question, I think you guys both answer it very clearly. With why people, I think the idea of counseling is supposed to be at the end anyways. It's supposed to be, that's your last result. I think people are thinking the same way, but thinking in the wrong way. I think the way they're thinking that is the final, well, they're done now. The relationship's over. I think people need to rewire the mind. Because when somebody's at that last stage, the idea of going to counseling is that you're going to get help. And they should think about it in a positive way instead of thinking, wow, Felicia is going to a counseling. Okay, looks like trouble in paradise. They're done.
Yeah,
somebody people who stand on the fence try to, creep now.
They start creeping now. Okay, she about to be free.
Yeah, sorry to cut you or you go ahead, but when you playing that, don't you think it's statistical? Like they know that let me just throw a figure out that might not be accurate. Like 60% of marriage counseling in divorce. Don't you think it plays on their decision like, oh well, those people going for counseling, that don't you think it create a negative perception about people going to counseling that at the end of the day it's not going to work? Or do you blame them for thinking negative about people going to counseling?
I agree with you. I think absolutely that's what the issue is. And I think those counselors need to figure out another strategy and create a criteria that before you come to counseling, these are things you should have done on your own before you come. Maybe that would be a little bit helpful. But I absolutely agree. I think most people start to think that because they know as soon as you go to counseling, we give you maybe approximately 3 months, you're done. Somebody's filing for divorce.
Yep.
Oh, yes, I agree. Sorry, these people come outside here. Anyone?
Yep. Children will come and go now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's snow day, so they just want to be looking at the snow. It's late at night. Where are we going?
You want to go to snow?
Well, please go to your room.
Okay.
Yeah, go ask your dad. Bye. He wants to come in. Go. But yeah, I agree with you. I think the idea that most people have been, been in counseling and then it's never successful. So yeah, you can't really blame people once they say divorces, once they say counseling, everybody started thinking like, oh, should I shoot my shot to the husband or shoot my shot to the wife? And now I feel like that's when infidelity really starts to creep in a lot because now you feel like, well, we're going to counseling, we're almost at divorce. When anybody start coming to you, started entertaining, probably something came out in counseling that you don't like, you hurt, and now you're like, okay, well, you did that to me, fine. Let me start talking to her. And I think it just creates more problem and people call it quits. But in other words, I just feel like people should rewire their mind, and maybe counselors should create more realistic criteria instead of it being like, well, when we come to counseling, that's where we discuss everything. No. Before they come, you should have a questionnaires that said, have you done this? Have you done that? After you do this, give it a month and come back to us. Which I know some people will not even go back because they will end up saying, well, what's the point?
Yeah. So let me let me just end with this. Let me close with this. So this my I don't know if I told you about that girl, the one was dating the guy from my job. Yeah. So it's so bad. It's it's going so bad. I really feel for her because I got a my daughter almost the same. She's a little bit older, but the guy she was dating at work, he tried to play games now. I think I told you she was off for almost 2 months. The guy didn't even call her. She came back, jumped right back on his wagon. She kind of like, yeah, it's something isn't just right. Every time she would tell me, say, hey, you want to take. So recently, I just blew it off, man. She was trying to compare something with him, and I don't know. I thought I said, hey, to be honest with you, in my profession that I'm going to be graduating, as a social counselor, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat. I'm not going to come and tell you. I thought I said, look, I got a daughter, but I think you are hurting yourself. She's like, oh yeah. I told her, I said, I try to explain things to her. I say, you are very good person. You come here, you go to work. I know a lot of girls your age that they brought to this job. They didn't even, some of them quit. Some of them out there, you're a worker and you are a dedicated person. And to have yourself treated like this, I don't know. I know that's your personal business, but I'm not going to lie to you. But anyway, I just explained to her and she said, oh, she wanted them to go to some council to sit down and talk and other things. I said, well, good luck to that. But if you guys want to
Wait, before you even continue, sorry, I'm about to interrupt you real quick.
Yeah.
She's thinking about going to council. Are they married?
No, they're not even married. They're not married. Yeah. She said the guy was
Want
in
to get
some
married?
relationship. No, they're not married. The guy was in some relationship. He can't get over. But she's into him and he seems like, he seems like he just, he doesn't care. So, yeah,
She
he
gotta
always,
quit. She gotta quit.
yep. I
Block him. Like, I'm sorry, block him. Find another department, apply to it, and go work there. Like, just cut it off.
yeah, I thought, but yeah,
It's
so,
not just quick.
so to my,
It is not just easy.
exactly, but yeah, so to my closing, yeah, again, this is a great topic and, entertaining. This is very good because these are things that people go through, day to day, in their lives, people going for counseling, and the hope is, eh, the what you see, so the small rebel now can.
It's okay. I'm telling you the other name over here. That's no day.
Yeah. So yeah, the hope and expectation was or is still that when people go to counseling, so they can resolve their issue and other things. But I think for some reason, and I'll go back to Peterson point, like if you already got all that baggage, if you know that's too much baggage, I think it's better. I would rather we discuss it home, like the situation you talk about with the two kids. Just say out there if she pick her neck and cut your, whatsoever. Yeah, rather than going to the counselor. So I think it's just an embarrassment because you go to the counselor and the woman looking at you like, so, look, the counselor, they are people too. They are human. Just because you think that's their profession don't mean they don't empathize with a woman. That poor counselor probably one of those, who might have been in the business for long, looking at you like you dirty. The American people. Yeah, in their heart, they're looking at you like, whoo, girl, you better walk away from this, they
That's what she told her. You need to run.
yeah, you need to exactly. So I think the concept of counseling probably being misused, you know, and abuse over the
That's
years.
the word. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah. You know, people go to counseling when you know the pot has overflow and there's you know like yeah, it has reached that point, and you think that poor lady or man is going to so no, she herself got overwhelmed. She just tell you, well, look, this is what I think, and this is what I think. You got so time to decide what to do. Some counselor will even give you advice how to split up. Yeah, if I
So,
were
so
counselor, I'd be like,
but then what's the essence of counselor?
but, but yeah, I understand Peterson, but
Sometimes they're telling you you've reached a no point of understanding, and if you're saying your response to them is just blanket, and they're like, "Well, do you think this is ideal for your own mental health?" They tell
thank
you to
you.
leave
Oh yeah, oh
and
yeah,
see how life will take you. If you're meant to be together, you come back together.
yep,
That's
yeah,
what's really being said these days.
yeah, yeah. You know, that's why I said you know, I hope I never reached a point of that. You know, every
Me
problem,
too.
you know,
If
yeah,
I
you know,
do,
no,
we'll just separate, go by our business.
yeah, you know, no relationship is perfectly like you said, you know, but you know, it's better to wash your, we like Brent people say, wash your dirty clothes, you know, in your own, yeah, rather than carrying it out there. Seriously,
What does that?
exactly, you know, so at least you know that in-house thing. If you know, you can cut it loose. Say, look, you know what, this is, but rather than, so that's what I think. And then so I would look at counseling. Finally, I would look at counseling in a positive and in a negative light. But I would think, yeah, counseling on the overall, again, you know, the word I use, misuse, abuse, and a lot of misconception about counseling. So to my listening, for this is just my opinion. The misconception is counseling are not always meant. It's not. It's not that. What should I say? It doesn't save your marriage or marriages all the time, as it's being. People think that, you know, the people consider when you go to marriage counseling, yeah, automatically things will get better. No, sometimes going there, things might get things already messed up. So again, we are not counselors here. We're just giving our views and opinions. Thank you to everyone that has been watching us, our constant viewers. You are doing great. Thank you, Fee, for these great topic. I know the test shape beating the hell out of you, but
I'm telling you.
you're a strong woman. So thank you very much again for keeping up the show, and you know, continue to do what you do, and pray to God for you and your family. To God continue to give you the strength at your job, so you can continue what you do. And Peterson, thank you, brother, for popping in, you know, so we can keep this platform going, because we're not a gossip platform. We're not, yeah, we're not into the Labrador versus America thing. We are more like giving advice on real life. So thank you, brother. Thank you very much.
You know,
Thank you so
before
much.
people say before you come in with your clothing, breakfast, bro.
Yeah.
Actually, tomorrow I was planning on saying my husband will be home. He'll be off. He'll be with the kids. I
Yeah.
was thinking about coming live because I got some DMs and people say, "Do you see the people that are putting office? What they're doing?" Da, da, da. So tomorrow I wanted to come live and address some few things with people. And for my daddy, we all know who he is. I have to say it me again.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I want to come and, at the beginning of the show, I said something, but I want to, hopefully, I'm praying I can come live tomorrow. Hopefully, the children don't drive me crazy. I can
Yeah.
come live tomorrow. Just, talk one or two things to address what is happening. It's a sad thing that's happening. But I also want to clear something because I think some people,
It's a sad thing.
it's a sad thing happening.
Sad thing.
So go ahead and give your closing. Leave me alone.
Look, I think the show was a very, very beautiful one. The topic is so much powerful and encouraging. I don't want to go into fear in her daddy thing, so let me just be straight to our topics. So yeah, the topic is very nice. counseling dominated the entire topics because of the question that came lastly, but the main topics was dealing around with these words people use when they are in their emotional state, uh, like firelighting boundary and stuff like that. And I just said, in my opinion, these words can be used, even though uh, they are good to express how you feel. Somebody can use them to express how they feel and sound a warning, or maybe express their excitement. But also, it can be used in the wrong context. People who don't understand the context they're using it, they can use them. And a lot of people will always feel in that way, or always be treated that way with our definition of firelighting. A lot of people always, including myself, from colleagues, from work area, from friends, many times people firelight you due to their own interest of what they want to get. So these things work, yeah. But people use these jargons as per their profession. Uh, Ending up with the counseling stuff and what have you, I strongly believe that counselors counselors are good people, especially that particular word. The profession is a very good profession. Um, if you are a psychologist, you will be able to help people. Okay, that's where counseling becomes so powerful. If you will be able to solve somebody's problem, somebody that is emotionally disturbed, you will be able to solve that person's problem. Counseling is the best thing to do. If you are a good psychologist and that you can help to solve problem, yeah, counseling is very good because why? The last before you get to the point of visiting counselor, you must be able to solve. I mean, let's say try to solve those problems. Be honest to yourself. Okay, when you are honest to yourself from home, be able to express, share the true story, and then your partner still have problem. The second opinion make it better because the second opinion now should be coming to share practical solution, to share experience, to share what is the more danger if you take certain action, or what would be the best if you take certain action. That's what counseling for. Counselor can help you to divorce. Yes, it doesn't. It's not wrong because why? If they got to know that this relationship is toxic from all indication, it's not good for your life. They can recommend that. They can let you know you take that decision. So counselor is not only meant to say you forced to be together, but it's meant to bring that ease, bring that relief to a situation, give solution, give advice to pursue a solution that will help you. So that's my understanding. Again, that's my own understanding. You can take that or you can do whatever you think is best for you. But I believe counseling, don't just think say because you are married and you're having problem with your wife, you want to go to counselor, then that relationship will just restore, out of blue sky. No, the probability of that relationship just vanishing is possible because your attitude could be the reason why the counselor will say, you know what, in love with you, my young lady, this person have proven this attitude over and again, and it may pose danger to your future. So now, in love with you to take the decision. So definitely, so that's why I see it. So thank you so much, and we look up to more of these kind of topics so that we can speak together like family.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. I think you kind of summed everything up already. Thanks, River Says Pro, for coming in, giving a more perspective beyond this topic, which really helped a lot. And thank you to our birthday boy. We don't know what happened. He didn't come by to get closing. You getting warmer to that banjo.
Man, it's a birthday man, so we can't talk much. That man going
I
boys.
know. But I want to say thank you to our audience. Like Reverse Pro said, we're not drama people, so they don't come on here. But it's okay. Some that they said those that have ears let them hear. Those that have eyes let them see. Will keep. I feel like this is our way of winning soul on the internet. So it's okay. We're still bringing the gospel to them. But I want to say thank you so much. This topic, I myself wanted some understanding with the topic, and I think I got a really good understanding of it. So I want to thank each and every one of you guys for clarifying and stuff like that. I hope the person that was in that conversation with us, I hope you will watch this podcast and hear some of these things. Hopefully, yeah, but therapy speaking words are some words that definitely is misused, but I think if it's used in the best light, both partner can understand and figure out a way how to solve the problem instead of it thinking that it's just being used to leave the conversation or guide them way through. Also, like the whole counseling part, like everybody has said, definitely make sure you talk your stuff through with yourself and your partner, and you're already at the verge of possible understanding how to work it out. Then, if you add a third party person to just clear things out, will make it clear. Shayla, can you go to your room? Stop. But anyways, I'm just gonna close this right here. Thank you guys so much. And tomorrow, stay tuned. We'll talk about my daddy issues, what happening. Y'all want to hear my info on ICE? Somebody messaged me saying, "Yeah, what do you think about ICE?" You'll hear ICE and deportation, all that. I'm not really a politics person, but I do follow things and I read things and I hear it. And I'm a human being. I'm an immigrant. I understand. We will discuss few things tomorrow. I don't know what time yet.
Yeah. We sorry for cutting your feet. I know we're closing, but
Yeah.
I mean, look, it's emotional, right? So
It is.
at one point, Fee, I kind of like. I mean, let me admit, though, I'm not gonna lie to you. This 2026, you the only person. I don't know if you are MAGA or you just Trump supporter, but I decided not to even. Yeah, I decided to cut ties with people because Fee is getting. Look, so this is the thing for me. Sorry, guys, no, we're closing now, but anyway, we'll discuss it tomorrow. So that's why your input is necessary because we're thinking like. I'm thinking that Brent that support, especially immigrant. I'm thinking like, okay, so the other guy is a Trump supporter. Legal is legal. People are illegal. I said, dude, you remember a lot of people that fight for people resettlement. Some of them, look, I know story. I don't want to call it that. People who came in this country, they had to marry. Look, the people went through a lot. So just because you came here legal, don't mean the person that came before you, your predecessor came here legally. So you have to go as far back. That's why when Black Americans talk about slavery, people are like, oh, you did not go through the the whole slavery. But the thing is, it's generation back. So I know sometimes even myself get frustrated when they try to blame everything on slavery. But then the more now I start to sit and think like, wow, so this is what the people are talking about. So immigrants who say, oh yeah, we came here legally. But the person who petition for you, for this person, when you go far back, you don't even know how the person came here. I want criminals to be arrested and other things. But the immigration chief says 60% of, they say all of the 60% of the people arrested, some of them don't have no criminal record. So it's getting too overwhelming for me, Fee. But anyway, yeah, tomorrow you get on the topic, but I'll just give him my little input.
Yeah, I will be here tomorrow too, and we already give you our closest statement. But
yeah,
I feel that Trump is doing just what he was elected to do. Trump is doing just. Trump said it. This is one of the things that I always look. Hillary Clinton and Trump, their election. I was in Liberia. I was one of the single person in our whole hall that was supporting Trump. I was one of the single person around me were entire, let's say, Americans. I never had idea at the time whether I was going to come here to be here right now. But you know why? My understanding was just simple from what I get from it. This guy's a realist. He
Right.
he said what he would do, and that just him. The guy said it clearly. I'm going to do it to the extent nobody ever believed that. The man said it. And people were online saying that's the right person. And you elected a man. The man is performing. Is performing. These people, fire, how you call it? Fire lighting. They don't believe it.
Gaslighting.
Gaslighting, fire lighting, gaslighting. So,
Yeah.
Trump does not believe in gaslighting. He said it clearly to people, I'm going to do this. When I'm elected, I will do deportation ever in the history of America, and nobody will believe that. He said it. And my brother, in as much as we empathize with a lot of people, we are all immigrants. Nobody will sit here to say what is happening is right, is good. I mean, to hear that. No, it's not. But you know why? These people are not like African who will lie to come to office and refuse to do what they say they're going to do. That's my point. So from now, this is a clear lesson to us. If somebody, you got your voting card, and somebody say, I'm going to do this, if you think it's not in your favor, don't vote for the person.
Absolutely.
Don't.
I agree with you. There are a few things that I'm going to just, I'll actually fix the flyer tonight before I go to bed and try to post it, see how many people come on. I want to probably come on maybe around 2 o'clock in the afternoon so I can get some time to go sleep later on. I'm working tomorrow. Hey man, when you get home?
Yeah, my work. I work second shift. I'm almost like you now, but in second shift, so I work from 2 to 10 p.m.
Okay, let's try to see. Maybe I come early then. Let's try to do it early in the morning.
Yeah, if you do it
when you on there.
Yep.
I try to do it before 2 o'clock then. We just do an hour, however long we end up going. But yeah, I want to talk about it. And I agree. I think a lot of people, everybody had their reason why they voted for him and whatsoever. I have my reason, and I will state that again. Not because I voted for it. It's not everything that I agree with or whatsoever. It was just the centerpiece of what I thought was very important for me.
Yep.
That's why my vote was cast. It wasn't, but I'll explain more tomorrow because I know a few people have messaged me a lot and saying, why am I not talking about this on my platform when there are people going through it? I feel for people and I watch it and I see it and I know what's happening. It's not that I'm not one of those people who just, when trending things happening, I just jump into it.
Yeah,
I sit, I observe, and I try to analyze it on my own and see if it's even important for me to get into it. But I think this is important. I want to talk about it because I think we have the platform, and I see a lot of people messaging me about it, and I don't want to ignore it. I want to set the record straight so that way we all move forward and we talk about it. But
you have to do
with that being said, would I have not voted for him knowing this? I probably would have. I'm just telling you.
I don't know. You saw my post. Everybody was back when Trump. I was supporting Trump. I even made a post and said that I made a post about God. Something. Part of my thinking was, the way that lady was campaigning LGBT was all about, she was more into this gay and lesbian, right, more than what Americans really care about. And so, it kind of threw a lot of Americans off, people like, especially a lot of Christians. For me, I was looking at it from a Christian perspective. I'm looking at it like, well, I mean, I believe in gender, right, and things. But this whole idea of gender transformation, the teaching children gender uncap, there was a whole lot of things. I said, I'm not gonna guard no. But then, I did not want to change my mind because of something that's.
I don't think you made a mistake, man. Guys don't want to vote for Trump. You should not worry.
No, I'm not. Honestly, I like I said, if knowing what I know now and based on the issues and things like that, I was still gonna vote for Trump. So I'm just telling you guys that now, people who want to come for me, all that, you can come. But again, No, they coming for me in my inbox. So
I know,
Well,
they
I
can come
mean,
for me. But regardless of whatever it is, it's kind of like when you have a child. Your child do certain things that you support. There's certain things you don't support. And then I have my middle ground of things that I have to say to those issues that are happening because I know a few people as well who's been through it. But then when you sit back and look at what it is, what they've been doing and whatsoever through that, you can still kind of make your own judgment out of them. But tomorrow we'll discuss that. And
sure.
the birthday boy won't come by again. It
You're,
will. You
you're,
leave it
you're
alone.
not, you're not girlfriend, yeah? No, you're gonna leave. I ain't got a problem. How to call it? Things to
You
do.
go,
That's all. So,
unless you want to come
Oh,
back.
no,
okay.
no, you're go. I get nothing. Maybe my last word will see. I have to see here tonight on for leaving is. It is it's important that before my friend, what honey, Eva said she wanted to be a panelist on this thing here, but I don't know when she's gonna join. So I'll follow up on her again. But
Follow up with her and put her in the group chat.
yeah, I will ask her so. But the thing here is, people don't want to be cancelled. You don't have to have problem with them. They have their own experience. They have their own, things that they gone through, the experience that they had before. They don't want to go. They feel they can be able to sit by themselves as partners, so they can be able to discuss it. And like I said, there's a story. I think Peterson know that story. In a so-called community around the Rail Belt, somebody or lady, when she and her fiancé went there and pray, for husband business. Da, da, da. Oh, okay. Fast forward before they went there, and she prayed. She said, "Look, God tell me, say this man is not your man, it's my man."
Yeah.
Yeah, God said this man
I
that you
wonder
with, not
how
your
the
man, it's my
father and
man.
how the husband took that.
Oh yeah, but she didn't tell her that directly like that, right? She prayed, say, "Let's pray. When this man is your man, God will show it to me." So no, no, she left to another. Let me pray together and pray for the people there. Lord reveal everything, hidden secret and all like that. At the end of the day, she contacted to the people, me contact now, she wouldn't the man. She said, God show me, she told the man, God show me that you my husband, you are the man that's also married. And now her. And I tell you today, the two of them married, but not very more in the woman together today. I don't even know where together, but he and his woman, they no longer together. They didn't continue a relationship. So there are things that people are afraid of. They don't know. But in conclusion, go to a person who understands the subject matter. You know, be a
Yeah.
spiritual person who understands it better to be able to guide you through the process, not just run into it because you want somebody to talk into your matter. Be careful who you involve into your relationship to come and cancel. Don't just put people in your relationship to cancel, or else they will blow it up. And at the end of the day, you'll be the victim of relationship. On that note, I want to rest my case for now. I hope to see you guys on next week Saturday so we all can join again to have a beautiful, beautiful conversation on the program. Let's talk with Miss P.
Thank you. And tomorrow, don't forget join me live in the morning.
Oh yeah, tomorrow. Okay, I'm joining. In fact, I gotta call you right after 2 o'clock on finish business.
Oh, yeah, bye bye, Akune.
No, but
Bye
you don't want to me say that
bye.
you're gonna call me now. Huh? Ain't you say you want to let you
okay,
go?
well, guys.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I forgot to say,
Okay.
you see, he took sleep carried me too.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Rivers Pro. Thank you, everybody. You have a great night. I'll see you live tomorrow.
And man, I want to take my position. It was a pro.
Rivers
You want to
Pro.
mortgage it. You want to mortgage my position.